Have you ever wondered about all those folk in high-vis waving their arms at you in festival car parks? Well, so have I, so I thought I'd try it out.
Right, this bit now is where our job becomes very valuable, I think.
I volunteered with Wicked Events at Wychwood Festival in Cheltenham and exchanged 3 shifts of parking punters for a free ticket and a ton of good vibes. I'll show you everything about the volunteering and all the best bits from this beautiful festival, which is nestled in the sumptuous Cotswolds.
It's a stunning location.
Get your high-vis on, unpack your camping chair and remortgage your house. This is Wychwood.
There's only one way of life, and that you know.
It's Friday, it's Wychwood, but before we get on with this festival, let me catch you up on the last couple of days.
I arrived at Cheltenham Racecourse on Wednesday afternoon, got parked up and checked in with Wicked Events.
Hello, how you doing?
The check-in took 2 minutes. Seriously, just 2 minutes.
If you're new and you've new people.
Then we had the briefing from the friendly but formidable Sue before heading out with our orange-vested supervisors for a walk and talk of our roles and responsibilities and move some pet barriers about at the same time. The following day I had the first of my 3 6-hour shifts where we helped get cars parked safely and tidily. It was stinking hot, but the work was genuinely fun.
First shift done, we're racing back to the campsite to drop this gear and get into the festival for the first night, because it is now 8:30 and it doesn't go on all that late. And the headliner tonight I have seen once before and they were amazing. Excited. Right, hard shift. What do we need? Quick pep me up, say it with me. Mango oh no. This one's Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. Vodka. Tell you what, that sun is setting fast. It's been 30 degrees today, but it's getting cold. Right, kept it simple. Just gone for the hoodie in addition. Let's get on it. Alrighty, it's a short walk to the arena, but there's no beers in the arena, so one for the road. Look at that sky. First views of the big arena. It's not that big. Can I have a pint of Stella?
Have you got a cap?
I don't, yeah. Awesome, thank you.
£9.50.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Wychwood, you're attuned to the sounds of the Dirty Moonshine Big Band. Another room, with a quick tap. What do you want to say? I say, what do you want to say?
There's nothing I can say. You are my moonshine, my dirty moonshine. You make me happy when stars are gray. You could never compare with the ever been with you. Ooh, baby, I so glad to stay on that moonshine tour.
Trying to find where the toilet was. There.
My baby Johnny. Beautiful.
Where's we fucking go? Boys and girls, you've been Wychwood, and we've been incredible.
Oh wow, they're incredible. I don't particularly like brass, I don't particularly like hip hop. They nail it every time. Unbelievable energy. Go and see Dirty Moonshine Big Band whenever you can. Yep, that's it. I probably should eat. Oh, welcome to Friday. My God, I was hammered last night. I don't ever recall getting myself that drunk that quickly, and I've got no hard shift idea how I probably should eat. It happened. Anyway, Dotty Womega, 1 6-hour shift to go today, and then we'll be back in the arena. I will see you there. That was a hectic start. Just parked all those people in about 5 minutes. Hoi! Halfway through the shift, it's dusty, it's hot. I'm gonna have to take another shower afterwards because I'm stinky, but it's good fun getting everybody in and settled to enjoy the weekend. Going delirious. Oh my God, it's hot. It's so hot. Oh my golly gosh, it is warm. Again, I thought last weekend was the hottest festival on record. I mean, it's not as hot, but it is very hot still. Look at the pretty skies. And behind me, look at that. So beautiful. Right, I need to somehow refresh myself, hydrate myself, and get some food in my belly so that I don't disgrace myself like I did last night. Oh, have I caught the sun? Oh, yeah, I think so. Oh, anyway, I did, even in the state I was in, learn a few things last night about the arena. One, it's a lot further than I thought it was going to be. At least a 15-minute walk, maybe 20. Two, it is really, really expensive in there. £7.15 for a pint. The food is like 15 quid minimum, basically. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. So I am going to be cooking some food for myself now before heading in. Also hoping to hydrate a little bit more as well. Even though the bands are on, main stage has started, but I can't be paying those prices. It's just ridiculous. Oopsie. Cut 2. Drink made. Ah, needed. Not the greatest look. That looks better. You know what? For curry in a can, it's all right. Although I am questioning my choice to eat something even remotely spicy in this heat. I will show you more at the campsite later in the video, but for now, I'm going to show you the washing up facilities. We've got washing up facilities. Okay, washing up done. I'm hung up to dry, and I'm not sure if you can hear that, but in the arena, Boney M, who I'd have loved to have seen, but I saw them last year at Boomtown, so not too bad. Brown girl in the ring. Tra-la-la-la-la. Right, next big decision is whether I shower or not. Yes. Now these are pretty basic in terms of what you get inside here, but they have the most important thing right, and that is lots of good water pressure and hot water. Although actually I'll be delighted if this one's cold now. Let's see. Now it's hot. Okay, shower done. Actually, I didn't smell too bad, but I felt disgusting. So I feel much better now. Time to slowly get myself into drinking. No mango loco vodka today. Learned my lesson from yesterday. We're going to take it steady tonight. Just time to choose a party shirt, which you've already seen. Back to Tim in the arena. All right, thank you, Van Tim. Back into the festival. Let's go have some fun. They were Bloodworm. Sounded great. I love a three-piece. On to something very different now, though.
No, will you please remind me to stop smashing up my guitars at £3,000 a piece.
Something inside so strong.
That was good fun. Barry from EastEnders. That was fun and sure. Gift that was. Wedding present. Absolutely rocked our socks off. Heard people talk about that band many times, but I've never seen them. Loved them. The lead singer reminded me of a guy from TikTok called Very British Problems. Go and check that one out if you haven't already. If you're British, you'll find it very funny, I should imagine. Okay, more contrast. On to tonight's headliner, and I think there's going to be a felony.
It's murder on the dance floor. You bend or kill the groove, DJ. Gonna burn this goddamn house right down. If you think you're getting away, I will prove you wrong. I'll take you all the way. Boy, just come along. It's murder on the dance
got a lot of love for her. She's a wonderful human. Brilliant performer as well. I'm glad she played a few covers. They went down well.
I'm just thinking maybe one for the road. What do you reckon? And I think it's time we got a little bit serious around here. I want to take you to church. Let's go.
That was the longest gap between an encore that I think I've ever seen. She's put it back on. She's singing Madonna.
And it feels like home. When you call my name, it's like a little breath down on my feet. On the same ship, just like a breath. You know I'll take you there.
Good morning. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. start to the shift, and I am huddled behind a car on the grass because it's already warm. I'm trying to absorb as little heat as possible today. Back to car parking duties, but this one finishes at 1:30 this afternoon, and then I will be free for the rest of Saturday and all of Sunday. Off duty, done. Happy days.
Closer to another car.
Right, this bit now is where our job becomes very valuable, I think, because we are roving the car parks, finding spaces just like this one, and then directing all the new coming traffic into it. Fills in all the holes, stops people randomly driving around, and for these lucky few punters that are coming in right now, they get a parking space right at the front. So this is what happens when you don't have stewards on duty. It's a bit of a mess. It's all a bit too tight. Not dangerously tight, but there's going to be some people struggling to get in and out of there, I would say. No high-vis. Job done. I'll have a rest. Oh. That was even hotter. Right, gang, it's 2 hours later, 3:45 now. People are just passed out in their vans everywhere. It is so hot, but this festival's not a late one, so it's time to hit the ignition switch. Sensible measures today, hopefully. No, that's still pretty strong. Holy moly, melting, just walking along this path. Some of it's in the shade as well, and you typically always find me in the shade because, well, these forearms are a little bit burnt, and that almost never happens. There's a lot of time in the sun this weekend. Back of my calves as well. Wait, where's the front of your calves? Back of my knees. That's what I meant to say, top of my calves. I'm gonna be okay though, I'll survive. As long as I stay in the shade. I might stop here for a second. No, I can't, I've gotta go in. They sound great, but if I'm not parking cars, I can't be out in this heat. It may not look like a lot, but that cloud cover is dropping the temperature about 3 or 4 degrees. Whew, it's hot.
We've got to stay hydrated, Wychwood. You look really enthusiastic, like you want this bottle. You are going to catch it, I've got full faith in you. Turn around and give it to those 2 kids on the shoulders, they look like they're gasping. And if you turn out to be a good bloke, you'll get something better than a bottle of water, I promise you. We got time for one more song?
Yep.
Shut the fuck up, I'm not asking you. Please tell me you don't look. I know it back, but I think I should.
Wow, honestly, bands like that, experiences like that are why I come to festivals. Pigeon Detectives absolutely killed that. So much humility. They said, we're third from the top. None of you are here to see us, so we've got to win you over. And win us over, they absolutely did. They were incredible. What I really want to know is, are there pigeons who happen to be detectives? Or are they detectives who investigate pigeons? band has just blown me away. Adult DVD, don't demonetize me, that is the name of the band. Such a contrast to the Pigeon Detectives. Such a cool way of connecting with the audience. The lead man didn't talk too much. He just let the music do the work and looked straight into our souls. Bloody worked. Okay, on to a band whose name is a trait of any future female partner I'd like to have.
It's got medicine. It's got a CD player. Say the end. All the things you
Well, that was Feeder. And they got a couple of bangers and they sounded great, but you can't defend a band that introduces a song by saying, and the next song is. Unless the next song is Wonderwall or like Tiny Dancer, you can't do that. They wrote the song. They know the story. Bring us in. 50-50 for Feeder. I mean, one of the truly great things about this festival is there is literally never ever a queue at the bar. Well, that was Newton Faulkner, super talented guy. Enjoyed that a lot. Watch out. But I've had a strong recommendation for something a little bit alternative. So let's see what that brings. I've got no idea, seriously.
Are you ready to party? Oh baby, baby, I want to come. I love you. And if I should fall in love, put you up with your arms around me.
Look at this. Look at that.
This is the modern way. Ruby, 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 Ruby. Oh, watching the people get Larry. Now they're pretty and Sally. Come on, it's a riot. I'm ready to riot. Oh my, I can't believe it. Never been this far away from home. That's why I need
And I love the Kaiser Chiefs. Up to about an 8 out of 10. And that's not a bad thing. They're great. They got some great songs. They work the crowd incredibly well. They're great. Ricky Wilson, average name, top frontman. Welcome to Sunday. And look at that. It's beautifully grey and overcast. Temperatures are down. I don't feel like I'm melting every second of the day. All good. And I've had a pretty lazy, relaxed morning this morning. I wandered over to the racecourse near the winner's circle to try and get some videos uploaded. The grind never stops, folks.
Barbara? Nobody Barbara with you?
No, nobody Barbara. Barbara?
It's gonna be fun.
Hello.
Hello.
Is there lunch available?
There's soup available.
Yeah, please.
And you can have a roll and you
Yep.
can have any 2 out of the 3 items.
Ooh. Well, I'm definitely going to have a chocolate chip mini muffin.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Do you want to just stick it on there for me? Perfect. There we go. Wonderful. What a bargain. Thank you. Yeah, as I said, basic but decent. And there is a lovely table there as well for communal eating, but it was full of t-shirts. Last year's merch. Talking of which, seems to be like a little perk for this festival where Wychwood hand over all of last year's unsold merch to the volunteers. Nice. That's a pretty Larry t-shirt. So yeah, our little HQ tent is lovely. Properly kitted out with cold water, boiling water, microwave, toaster, all the snacks, the kitchen there, which is serving up all kinds of food at different times of the day. I've had late night snacks from them. Cheese on beans on toast they made me about midnight. Wonderful. And it cost £2, I think. And we're into the festival for the final day. The skies still look pretty even like this. And the temperature today, I mean, it's still vest weather, but considerably more manageable. My mouth is a mess though. Look at that. So I'm really looking forward to tonight's headliner because they're the creators of the first album I ever bought. It is 35 years old this year, and they are touring to celebrate it. So, looking forward to bouncing around to that later on. Absolutely perfect Sunday afternoon band at a festival, that. Dub Pistols. Love Bullets, as they said.
What a beautiful day. I'm the king of all time. And nothing is impossible in my own powerful mind.
Bit of a tease for later. Never a queue at the bar. It's an absolute dead spot in the afternoon. None of the stages have got acts on. And I've no doubt they've done it so the samba band, the samba procession, won't disturb anybody. It's quite strange though. I mean, I like the samba procession, but not at the expense of all the bands.
I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby.
Well, Chesney Hawkes, very enjoyable that. He knew his role, played a ton of covers, a few originals, and I've got to say actually as a band, they sounded better. They sounded really good playing the originals, but good fun. The one and only to finish with, amazing. His youngest son on lead guitar, and it's kind of ironic that the son is already at least 3 times cooler than Chesney. Probably ever was or will be, not being harsh.
Right, one last cheers because this is my final song. All right, this is the big finish. Let me sort my wig out, make sure my tits are covered up. No chips in the back. I can't eat out because I love you. Too much gravy. Throwing a good look at my life. Having a great time at my show. I think it's straight on to the superstar.
Whew. Right, pop back for a break and to put some of this on my face because every time I smile or try and sing, it feels like my face is cracking, and this on my lips, and to get some food in me, and to throw a bit more cheap booze down my neck before we head in for 2 last acts of the evening. I've already spoken about the headliners, can't wait for them, but before them is a cover band of one of my favourite acts of all time. I reckon 5 of their songs are in my top 100 songs of all time, so I'm so looking forward to that. And I haven't cried yet this weekend. It could happen. It could happen in either of these 2 coming up. Let's see. That's too much. Oh, look how it stings. Beautiful. Furs on, and I'm so excited to see the headliner tonight because they were big at a time when I grew up, learned to love and laugh. Circa days on the underpass. It was a good time. The noise we thought would never stop died a death as the punks grew up. So, chance to two more acts. First was Nuns of the Tundra, and they were at Everything, who I passed on last week at Bearded Theory because it was too hot. And they are good, I like them. They remind me of the band that sang Pumped Up Kicks, but I can't remember the name of that band. Let me know in the comments. Some little festival detail here. Hand sanitizer hasn't always been there, but when it is, I've just put it on and it smells awful. It smells like pure alcohol. Just get better, be better. Uh-oh, looks popular. Back, every song an absolute banger, so good. Stevie Nicks was suitably sullen, but I've left early so I can get a good spot for the headliner. I just sang every word to songs I haven't heard in 20 years. One of the Levellers, absolutely magic. And you know what, I didn't cry, it was close, mind you. Another Man's War almost got me. If you don't know that song, go and look up the lyrics and then listen to the song and the way they sing it. It's intense. Right, gang, I had planned to not film anything else this evening, but I mentioned late night stacks earlier, didn't I? I told you I've been having some. Look at this. 2 baked potatoes, cheese, chili beans, and 2 cupcakes for £2. Wicked events, you're wicked. Oh, thank you, baked potato. Oh, Monday morning, another festival in the bag. That's 2 out of 5 in a row. Look at the state of my lips. Right, what did I think of this one? Let's talk about the volunteering first of all with Wicked Events, who the first time I've ever volunteered with Wicked, and I have to say I was roundly impressed with everything. The standard of the facilities, everything they put on for us, the way they sort of took care of us. Everything was first class, really brilliant. The tent, the HQ tent there with all the stuff in there that you could possibly need. And then I really liked the level of professionalism as well. The brand new high-vis, the request that we make sure they're zipped up and done up, no smoking on duty, all that kind of thing. At the same time though, very much wanting us to have a good time and, you know, enjoy the experience thoroughly as well. So I loved it from both sides of that. Well done, the Wicked Events team. The volunteering itself was really good fun. I said this to several people over the course of the weekend, especially this role. I think I really enjoyed this role, in the car parks. It only adds to the festival for me. Getting to interact with loads of people on their way in, vast majority of which are just really excited to be there and get parked and set up, was a joy. It was an absolute joy and I love doing it. The only tiny downside to it was the heat and how much that took out of me during the day, because you're basically non-stop. You're working in the morning, afternoon, and then going out partying in the evening and sleep and repeat. So there's very little downtime with that, but it's all good. It just meant that my ability to party late into the night was somewhat diminished for this festival. However, what also diminished it was the festival itself, Wychwood, or should I say Richwood, because I mentioned it several times during the video. The prices are steep. Look, I know they've got to make margins, I know they've got to make a profit, but it was off-putting for me, and I've never been at a festival where the bars are empty the entire time. I heard staff like screaming out, is anybody waiting, is anybody waiting, and nobody was waiting. I don't know whether that was just because of the pricing or not, but I've never seen that before. And it was lovely, the festival was great, lots of good acts which I really enjoyed, but it's very middle of the road. It's very sort of starter festival, easy entry, kind of, you know, the amount of areas reserved for people to put down camping chairs was vast. I think it was more than half the arena was reserved for camping chairs. There's nothing wrong with bringing a camping chair, obviously, if you need to sit down, but it doesn't provide the kind of vibe that I really enjoy. I prefer things that are a little bit edgier. But I did enjoy the fact that it was essentially 3 stages, and there was almost always something on, and they scheduled it quite nicely so you could bounce from one to the next to the next, and in that regard you didn't really feel like you were missing out on anything. So that was a nice side to this festival, the size of it. Okay, that is this one in the bag. Like I said, 2 out of 5. On to the third one next week, which is a dance festival in a forest, and I don't know what to expect. I've got no idea. So join me in next week's video. Hit subscribe, give this one the thumbs up as well if you don't mind, and I'll see you next week in a forest. Peace.